trick on this stuff here is just to try to get it at a good point where it's resonates really good and it's got optimal strength. So, you don't want it too heavy because it won't vibrate and ring, and too thin it won't stand up under the string tension. So we're just trying to tap it and stuff like that, try to kind of tune it. This one sounds pretty good. It's pretty close. This piece of wood here is probably about 5 years old. You just want to make sure that it's nice and dry before you turn it into a guitar. I helped harvest some of this stuff. It's from the mountains in North Carolina. All my musical heroes and stuff played, Martins and Gibsons and lots of traditional and locally built instruments as well. But that's kind of the main reason I build these things, because of the music. That's what it's inspired by and stuff. And, when I first got into building this stuff, it was too expensive to buy my own guitar. So I just figured I'd try to make one. And when I settled here about 15 years ago, I started meeting people in the community and realizing that there was instrument makers all over the place out here. And just like the music and the musicians, there was people who were willing to help me and get me started. And everything from showing me secrets to building to giving me tone wood that they had, and just a real supportive community of people and encouraging to keep the tradition going, to hand it down and make sure it doesn't die out. I grew up in Southern Oregon, and I grew up with a lot of music in my household, and my stepdad was a woodworker and a craftsman. And from the earliest I can remember, there was woodworking projects, everywhere. They logged timber on the property and had a chainsaw mill, and that was, went into building a timber frame house. And so I can remember piles of sawdust and stuff and working out in the shop. And so I've been around it, my whole life, doing woodwork and stuff. And I played music most of my life too. So I think it was just a matter of time before I kind of did the two things kind of blended together. And then when I met Audrey Hasham, that was like the beginning of it. I think she was really super helpful and just encouraging. You go up to her shop and bring something you're working on, and you'd leave feeling like, that thing was worth $1 million or something, looking back on it, probably wasn't the greatest instrument in the world, but like when I was first starting, it meant the world for her encouragement and stuff like that.